2 times 2 times 2 is, that's 8. But yes, you are correct. And it's 5, but be careful. It's not actually 5. Something close. You're very close.
-5.
It is -5. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Because that would make a nice negative number. Okay. Question B, Zephy.
Is there a positive or negative number that equals -4 to the 1/2 power? No, there isn't. That's an imaginary number.
Very nice. It's imaginary because you cannot have an even number and a negative there and give a real answer. Does not equal a real. Thank you so much. Well done. Okay. So we talked about that. Let's do 1.31. Bohan, would you please start that one off?
Evaluate -216 over 125 to the -2/3.
Okay, to the -2/3. You've got a bunch of things going on, and you don't sound 100% healthy. I'm sorry about that. Can
I went to Quebec, like on Saturday.
Oh, very nice. Did you go skiing?
No, I went
just to the. Pardon?
I went tubing.
Very nice. They have a big celebration in February in Quebec City.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
It was like the winter parade or whatever.
That's right, Winterlude. Very nice. Lucky you. Okay, now tell me, what does this? Let's going to start with this one. What does this negative do? Do you remember what a negative does? A negative exponent. Tell me if you want an example.
Yeah, can I get an example?
Absolutely. If I have 4 to the -1, it means 1 over 4. And if I have 1 over 5 to the -1, it means 5. If I have 3 over 4 to the -1, it means 4 over 3. So what it does is it puts, do you see what's happening here?
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen with that negative exponent on your question?
It's gonna like flip it.
Go for it. Talk to me.
So like 125 over 216.
Correct. What happened to the negative though?
Oh yeah, negative. Wait,
right.
No.
And does it matter where the negative goes?
Yeah.
I usually leave it on top. So now you have that to the 2/3. Very good. Well done. Okay. Maggie, now what? You want to deal with the cubic root or the square first, do you think, Maggie? I can't hear you. Are you saying anything, Maggie? Are you talking, Maggie? Maybe. Okay, Maggie just disappeared. Her mic must not be working. Charlotte, can you take over for Maggie?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, you want to deal with the 2 or the 3 first? The squared or the cubic root?
2.
I disagree. Do you really want to square 125?
No.
So, right, if I have to multiply something by 15 and divide it by 5, don't you think I'm better off dividing first?
Yeah.
Okay, so same thing here. So let's deal with this. Oops, just a second. Let's deal with this 3 first, okay? And that means, what does that 3 mean? It means the cubic root, correct?
Yeah.
Of -125 over 216, yes?
Yeah.
And we still have the squared out here. What is the cubic root of -125? Not a very big number. Remember this. 2 times 2, yes, it's 5. And it's not just 5, it's -5. Do you agree?
Yeah.
And what's the cubic root of 216?
Six.
Very good. So now that we've done that, thank you so much. Back to you, Maggie. Let's see if your mic's working now. Maggie, say something. Okay, so Maggie, your mic's not working. I can't hear, at least I can't hear you. Can you just type something in the chat for me, Maggie? Can you just type in can you type the number of what is -5 squared? I don't see anything happening in the chat either, Maggie. I don't want to ignore you. Oh, no, there we good. Thank you. It is actually positive 25 because what's a negative number? A negative times a negative is a. Can you type your positive? That's right. So isn't that 25? And what's 6 times 6 or 6 squared? Maggie? You can type it in the answers. Maggie, 6 times 6? 36. Thank you so much. So Maggie, what I'm going to do is every time I come to you and I'm asking you a question, I'm going to try your mic. And if not, if the question is conducive to writing on the chat, I will ask you. Okay. And hopefully at one point your mic will be working. I cannot tell you. Okay. Thank you. All right. Sophia, we're going to start with the homework now. All right. 1.7.1. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to put my little line down because I like to keep things organized. Well, that's not a very straight line, is it? Try it again. Oh, thank you. Whoever put the nice straight line there for me. You can get rid of mine if you like. Whatever. Okay, so I'm going to do 1.7. Oops, I've forgotten to do something. That's better. There we go. Sophia, can you do 64 to the 1/3? What does that mean? Tell me what it means. Sophia?
Um,
Do you know what that means? Or you want a hint? Yes, the 3, I'm going to give you a hint. Here's my hint. If I wrote 25 to the 1/2, that means the square root of 25, correct? So what do you think 64 to the 1/3 means? It means the cubic root of 64, which means instead of having 2 things that multiply to 64, you need 3 things. So what times itself 3 times is 64? What's 2 times 2 times 2, Sophia? Is 8. What's 3 times 3 times 3?
27.
What is 4 times 4 times 4?
64.
That is right. So there's your answer. See? So the answer is 4. The cubic root of 64 is 4. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Evan, B, please.
10,000 to the 1/2 power.
What does that mean? It means the square root, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Of 10,000. What's the square root of 10,000?
How
How many zeros do you have?
4,
What's half of 4?
2,
That's right.
100.
100 then. That's right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Very good. C. Zephy.
Negative 216 to the 1/4 power.
And again, are we allowed to have a negative inside that?
Yes.
Correct. Why?
Because it's a odd number for you.
That's correct. It's not a square root or a 4th root or a 6th root. Thank you. So, answer?
Negative 6.
You are correct. Thank you so much. Bohan, D.
7,056 to the 1/2 power.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that?
I don't know.
It means the square root of that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, do you have a calculator by hand? Chance or no?
I think I learned a trick on how to find the square root of a number.
How? How would you do it?
So I think the trick is like you take the last digit and then it has to be like the square of that. So like the last digit is a 6. So that means like the square root would have to be like a 6 or a 4. I mean, no.
Yes, you're right. A 6 or a 4.
Yeah, 6
Because
or
4
a
times
4.
4 is what?
16.
Agreed.
And then like I don't really know how this works, but then it's like you take away the next like 2 numbers or whatever, and then you like hold on.
The other way of doing it, the other way of doing that is to prime factor this. Do you know how to prime factor?
No.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Well, probably, but I don't remember how
Remember,
to.
yeah, okay. So in other words, what is 7,556 divide by? Well, I'm going to tell you it divides by 8, and I'm going to help you a little. It makes 882. Yeah? What does 8 divide into? What are the prime factors of 8? What does 8 divide by, Bohan?
4
Isn't
and
it 2? Correct. And 2 is prime, so I circle it. And 4 divides into?
What?
What does 4 divide into?
4 divides into 2.
And again, I circle them because they're prime. So 882, well, you can guess it divides by 2, correct?
Yeah.
And that gives us 441. Now, I'm not going to circle 441 because it's not prime. Now, let me ask you this. Does 441 divide by 9? Yes or no? Without
Yes.
doing it?
Yes.
Yes. And how did you know that?
Because 4 plus 4 plus 1 equals 9, and 9 is divisible by 9.
Perfect. And I'm not going to circle 9 because it is not prime. And it makes 49. So tell me, what are the 2 prime factors of 9?
9 and
Not 9. 9
I
is
mean,
not
yeah,
prime.
3 and 1.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, and 1.
And 49. What are the factors of 49?
7.
And 7. And again, I circle them because they're prime. Now, as I'm doing this, is this starting to look familiar?
Yeah.
All right. So how many 2s are there?
Hold on. 1, 2. So 2. Wait,
I
no,
think
3.
there's
3.
I think there's more. Either maybe you can't read my writing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Do you agree? There's 4, yes?
Yeah, I
So
didn't
it's
see
2
one
to the
'cause it
power
was like,
4. Yes?
okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to write here, just to the power 4. How many 3s are there?
2,
How many 7s are there?
2.
So do you see what I wrote?
Yeah.
And we're trying to find the root of that, or to the power 1/2. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the rule for bringing the 1/2 in? Do I
No.
add? Okay, let me ask you this. X cubed to the power 7. What do you think is your answer?
X to the 21.
That is correct. So you do know the rule. So what am I going to do between the 1/2 and the 4? What did you do between the two numbers? You got to 21.
Multiply.
That's right. What's 4 times 1/2?
2.
What's 2 times 1/2?
1.
And 2 times 1/2 again.
1.
All right. What's 2 squared?
4.
Times 3 times 7. Which one do you want to do first? Should we do 4 times 3
Sure.
or 3 times 7?
I don't know.
Let's do 4 times 3 is 12.
Okay.
What's 12 times 7?
84.
That is correct. So now what's your answer?
Uh,
The square root
84.
is 84. And what did you tell me at the very beginning that you knew it had to end
it
in?
was gonna end in a 4.
Or a 6?
Yeah.
Right?
4 6.
And there you go. So nicely done. Okay, thank you so much. Maggie.
Oh yeah, I remember how it goes. So like you would take like the 7056.
Yep.
Like 6 ends with the 4, so you would like cross that out then, like the 5 and the 6, and then you
Yep.
would take the next smallest square root inside of 70.
Yep.
Which is like 8, because like 8 times 8 is 64.
4. There you
So
go.
then 8 plus 4 equals like 84. Well, not
Very
80.
nice. Nicely done. All right. All right. Maggie, we're gonna try you again. 1.7.2. Can you read the question? I'm going to give you a second to see if I can hear you.